Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dana and I really appreciate you being here with me today for another build in my mini-series of Halloween horror places, spooky HHP builds that are inspired by horror movies. We've already done a build for Friday the 13th and one for Saw. If you have not seen either of those, please do go check out the videos listed in the description down below. But today we are doing a build on a movie I swore to myself I'd never see. Today's build is inspired by the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. As a reminder, if you want to see more horror movie themed builds, do go check out my video tour of Fog Hollow, my horror movie themed island. There are over 25 different references to horror movies and spooky classic characters. It's definitely a fun one to visit at this time of year. That tour was actually the very first video I ever posted on my YouTube channel, although I highly recommend you check it out so you don't miss a single reference on that island. Okay, so let's get on with today's build, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Nico, take me to our Leatherface for today's build. And here we are on location, with Rodeo representing our Leatherface for today. So let's get started. Rodeo, I would like to remodel your home. Have you smelled all these smells we got going on out here? Oh boy, I don't know what to think about that, knowing what goes on in this house. But okay, sure, Rodeo. Let's redecorate your house to look more like the home in the Texas Chainsaw movie. Wait, too many snack drawers? No, Rodeo, no, ew, please. Okay, let's just get on with the build. We're gonna start with the exterior of the house first. So let's speed things up here. Now, if you're not familiar with the channel or with me, you may not know, but I am actually not a big horror movie fan. They're just not movies that I gravitate towards, even though I designed an entire Animal Crossing island dedicated to horror movies and classic characters like that. But this movie in particular, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, is one I thought I would never ever see. The very thought of being chased by somebody with a chainsaw is my worst nightmare. I love haunted houses, but the instant I hear a chainsaw in a haunted house, I will tense up and probably run out of there. I did actually have once before somebody with a chainsaw chase me out of a haunted house, so maybe that's where I have my issues from. But anyway, I did not expect to ever watch this movie. It was never one I ever had a desire to see, but since I kind of wanted to make this build as detailed and accurate as possible, I did track down the 1974 original Texas Chainsaw Massacre and gave it a watch, and I do have some thoughts. So to prepare for the watching of this movie, I was all set. I made sure every single light was on in the house. I even watched it during the day. So picture this, sunlight in full force, still have every light on in the house, sitting down with a bunch of laundry to watch this on my bed. So I'm not fully committed to the movie. I can be distracted by laundry if I need to. But the movie actually was not as bad as I guess I was envisioning in my head, and maybe it's because it's very dated. 1974, it did show its age, but I don't know if I was just expecting a lot more. I'm sure the more recent versions of it are much more graphic than the original, but I actually honestly kind of found the original a little comical. I don't know if it's meant to be like a dark comedy, but there was seriously moments within this movie that I was laughing and wondering, WTF am I watching? I don't know if it was the acting, if it was the circumstances. I mean, 100% the movie is disturbing. A family of cannibals that are out there kind of luring in people and attacking them with chainsaws. It's disturbing for sure. But I mean, the hitchhiker at the beginning of the movie, his performance was a little over the top, which I guess was intended, but it was a little comical to me. And just some situations where people were kind of standing there screaming instead of running. And I'm just thinking, why are you not moving? But I guess it's just the typical horror movie thing, is you kind of stand there and scream instead of running where you need to run. There was just moments, I don't know. And then when the grandfather kind of came out, please tell me I'm not the only one who's laughed in this movie. I can't be the only one. Let me know in the comments down below if this movie brought you a little bit of a laugh. But anyway, I think this looks pretty good for the exterior. We have the windmill back there. Everything looks pretty overgrown. We have the cars that they're working on over on the side. That's why they came to this house in the first place, hoping to get some gas. So I think this looks pretty good for the exterior. Now let's move on inside and do the interior. Okay, Rodeo, let's spooky on up this house of horrors. This space is way too small for this area that I want to build out, so we're going to widen this up to a 10 by 6 space. I think it's going to give us a lot more room to play with and build out this interior. So I'm going to place down the old wallpaper and then use the modern tea room wall as an accent wall, because there was that red room where you can see as you entered into the house. I think that was a very important part of the movie, so I wanted to make sure that that room is represented here. So let me know in the comments down below, who is a fan of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies? What do you think of the very first movie? Is it your favorite? Have you seen others in the franchise? I definitely do not think I will be seeing any more from this franchise. I think the first one's enough for me, even though, like I said, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, but one's enough for me. Although I did hear that there's a character, I think he's in the second movie, named Chop Top, who kind of was the inspiration behind Beetlejuice for Michael Keaton. So I find that kind of interesting. I don't think I'm intrigued enough though to watch the second one, but I did find that interesting that Michael Keaton had said that character was inspiration for Beetlejuice. Now, Beetlejuice is a movie I like. I do feel, though, kind of happy that I have, this spooky season, seen a few horror movies that I have never seen before. I felt a little bad when I designed Fog Hollow that there were several movies referenced on that island that I had never seen before. There's still several on there I have never seen. Maybe next spooky season I will catch them. But this season, I finally got to see the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I got to see Friday the 13th. I'm hoping to see the movie Halloween. Again, I know these are all classics, but I've never seen them. But I'm hoping to see Halloween before spooky season is over. This Halloween season got a little busy for me with taking my kids out to special spooky events and things like that, so this possibly may be my last HHP build in this little spooky mini-series. We'll go back to doing builds on my half city core, half countryside island. But these have really been a lot of fun to put together. I really was hoping to do more, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to squeeze any more in before Halloween gets here. So I hope you've enjoyed what I've put together in the 3 builds we have. I do have several more horror movies I would like to do an HHP build for eventually, but that might have to wait until next season. But I want to know in the comments down below, what have you all been up to so far this spooky season? Have you been celebrating in any way, going to any haunted houses, going to any trick-or-treat events with your kids, or maybe going and just watching a lot of scary movies? Let me know who is also your favorite scary movie villain. I know we have a plethora to choose from. Ghostface, Leatherface, Michael Myers, Jason, Freddy Krueger. Freddy Krueger is the one I think I would never want to run into. I mean, he comes to you in your dreams. How do you avoid that? I've seen the very first Nightmare on Elm Street a long time ago, so I know obviously people survive. I don't remember exactly how, but that would be a hard one to kind of escape, is Freddy Krueger. I think he would be the scariest to come face to face with. But what do you think? Anyways, here I'm going to kind of build out that staircase. So here's the red room, and then when you walked into the house of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, there was a staircase kind of coming directly out, but I think using this staircase dresser directly like that doesn't look so good, so I'm actually going to turn it sideways here. I think that looks just a little bit better. It's not as realistic to the movie, but it's fine. Works for what we have in Animal Crossing. And let's put all the spooky bones and everything that they had in this little red room area. Okay, so I'm liking how this is looking so far. Looking pretty good. We'll add another door over here. And of course we have to put a bucket over here. So in the movie they had the meat hook where he kind of lifted up the girl, I don't remember her name, and kind of stuck her on there, and he had a little bucket underneath, so that's that. And then of course we have to put the chicken in its cage. This is a bird in a cage, but we'll pretend it's a chicken. There was a chicken squawking in the cage. I'm kind of combining, I guess what was his craft room and freezer room, wherever he kind of took care of his victims. I'm combining them kind of into one space. I only have so much space to work with in HHP, so this will have to do. Now I'm just gonna fill up the ceiling with some of these curtains. In the movie, the walls are very tattered with skins and stuff hanging on them, so this is kind of representing that. Let's fill up the area with a bit of spider webs and some other spooky stuff. Of course, we have to put his Leatherface outfit here, all bloodied and everything. All the custom codes will be in the description down below for everything that you're looking for. And then we'll just cover up this room with bones, feathers, all kinds of stuff. And of course, the chainsaw. For what is Leatherface without his chainsaw? So here we go. I think this looks really good. For Animal Crossing, I hope this represents the Texas Chainsaw Massacre pretty well. Now let's put Rodeo in his spot, and he does not look good in this outfit. We have got to change him up. A graduation gown? No. That does not fit for Leatherface. Something like maybe this over here, an apron. That'll do. I really wish that we can dress the characters in custom codes in HHP, but unfortunately we can't. But he's still looking pretty spooky to me. So here he is in all his glory. I'm hoping he likes his home. I think he likes it. He looks pretty happy. I think, oh, yes, he's just getting down to business now. He's got work to do. But I'm hoping that this represents the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Same for the exterior. What do you think? Do you think I pulled this off pretty well? Let me know in the comments down below if, for Animal Crossing, if you feel like this represents the Texas Chainsaw Massacre pretty well, and if we picked a good Leatherface for our character. I would love to know in the comments. Please consider subscribing to the channel if you're not already. Hit that like button. Oh no, we know there's more than just popsicles in that freezer. I am a little scared, and there he goes, back off to work on his victim, and oh my gosh, he's coming toward me. I'm out of here. Bye. Subscribe.